Hey there are lots of regular jobs in the world. Doctors, teachers, programmers, drivers. Everyone knows these jobs and what they're like. But there are also jobs that sound like a joke, but they really exist. What's more, people get real money for them, sometimes even pretty good money. Some of them are funny, and it's hard to believe anyone even thought of them. Today, I'm going to show you the strangest jobs in the world. Others seem gross and need a strong stomach. And then there are some that are even deadly dangerous, but without them, the world would look totally different. Today, I'm going to show you the strangest jobs in the world. Get ready, because this list might surprise you. Let's start with a job that might be a nightmare for most of us. Imagine your main job is to smell other people's armpits. Yes, such a job really exists. Armpit odor testers are hired by cosmetic companies to check how well deodorants and antiperspirants work. It's not just a quick sniff. Testers follow specific rules. First, volunteers are chosen who wear deodorant or antiperspirant for a certain time, after a workout, after a few hours at work, or after a whole day of activities. The tester sniffs and rates the smell on a scale, looking at how strong it is, what kind of smell it is, and how long it lasts. Does it sound strange? Yes, but thanks to these people, manufacturers know if their products work and how they compare to others. So someone spends their whole day leaning over other people's armpits, and at the end of the month, they get paid for it. Now let's move on to something much nicer. In Japan and the United States, you can find professional cuddlers. These are people who earn money by hugging strangers. This service happens in special cuddle cafes or private offices. The client pays a set fee, usually for 30 minutes to a few hours, and during that time, they spend time cuddling, talking, holding hands, or just resting in someone's company. The rules are clear. There are no hidden meanings. It's only about giving closeness, warmth, and a feeling of safety. It sounds strange, but it turns out that these services are very popular. People are getting more and more lonely and stressed, and they're looking for simple ways to connect with other people. For many, it's like a kind of therapy. An hour of such a session can cost up to $60. Sounds like a dream job. You spend all day at a water park and go down different slides. That's what the life of a waterslide tester is like. But be careful, it's not just fun and games. A tester like this checks the speed, safety, how comfy the ride is, and the fun factor. Meaning if the slide is actually fun. They check if there are any spots where you might get stuck, if the turns are safe, and if the water doesn't splash too much into your eyes. While the first few rides sound like a childhood dream come true, doing dozens of rides in one day in a wet swimsuit really gets tiring, but someone has to do it before thousands of tourists use the slides. Now we'll move to a tradition that might seem surprising to many of us. In some countries, especially in China or Africa, there's a job called a professional mourner. This is a person who takes part in funerals and loudly grieves for the deceased. It's not about pretending, it's part of the ceremony. The louder and more dramatic the ceremony is, the more respect is shown to the person who passed away. Professional mourners learn special songs, wails, and behaviors that are meant to make the ceremony feel stronger. Even though it might sound strange or even fake to us, in those cultures, it's a super important part of tradition and a way to show community in grief. Did you know that dog and cat food is tasted by people? It's not a joke. Companies that make pet food hire testers who check the taste, texture, and smell of the food. It's not about loving the taste, but about making sure the product is well balanced, doesn't have any bad aftertaste, and that the texture is what's expected. Testers pay attention to how the food feels when you chew it, how it smells, and how it stays in your mouth. They say most pet food tastes like a bland, tasteless version of pate. Sounds not very yummy, but thanks to these people, our pets eat tastier and healthier meals. Let's go to Tokyo now, one of the most crowded cities in the world. During rush hour, the subway is so packed that passengers just don't fit, and that's where the pushers, also known as Oshiya, come in. Their job is to help squeeze passengers into the train cars so the doors can close. It looks funny, but it's actually a very serious and important job. Pushers have to be quick but also gentle and polite because no one wants to feel treated like luggage. Thanks to them, the Tokyo subway runs on time and people get to work when they need to. This is one of the most dangerous jobs in the world. Snake venom collectors catch poisonous snakes and take their toxins from them. This venom is then used to make anti-venom for snake bites and for medical research. This job needs a lot of bravery, carefulness, and experience. Any mistake can cost a life. Yet there are people who risk this every day, so others can use life-saving medicines. This is a job where the health and safety of whole communities are truly at stake. Finally, something lighter, though not easy at all. In Antarctica, there are people who professionally count penguins. Scientists need exact numbers about the population to study how climate change affects them and how these birds are doing. From the outside, it looks funny. Someone just sitting and counting penguins, but in reality it's hours spent in freezing cold, strong winds, surrounded by thousands of almost identical birds. Counting them is a challenge that takes patience and a lot of effort. It's a job that seems funny, but it's actually important for science and protecting nature. And that's the whole list of the strangest jobs in the world, from smelling armpits to hugging strangers to counting penguins in Antarctica. Each of these jobs sounds crazy, but each one really exists and someone gets paid for it. Which job do you think is the craziest? An armpit odor tester, a subway pusher, or maybe a penguin counter? Write it in the comments. If you liked the video, please subscribe and give it a thumbs up. That way you won't miss any more cool facts. Thanks for watching and see you in the next episode. Bye for now.